Good morning. We are learning a Rambam today. Hilches Ma'acholos Assuros. And unlike usual, we're going to focus on 6 words in the Rambam. Matter of fact, maybe one part of those 6 words. The Rambam begins the Halacha by saying, Gid hanosha noyeg b'behema v'chaya. Gid hanosha, the Halacha of Gid hanosha. That specific gid, which is a sinew that is also for a Jew to eat, is noyeg b'behema v'chaya hatahoyre. Is only relevant if the animal is a kosher animal. The Issa does not apply to a non-kosher animal. I'm not going to get into now what difference it make if it's not kosher. You can't eat any of them, but there are relevance to it, and it's not for our current discussion. Where is this? This is discussed in Masechtas Chulin, Daf Kuf Amud Beis. A very interesting piece of Gemara. And the Gemara says there as follows. Noyeg b'tahira, noyeg b'tahira, that's a Tanakama, the Chachamim. Ve'ein noyeg b'tmeya, like the Rambam Paskins. However, Rabbi Yehuda says, af b'tmeya. Amar Rabbi Yehuda says, I don't understand you. When was this Isser made? Now, anybody who learns Chumash knows in Parshas Vayishlach, when Yaakov fought with the Malach, and the Malach put his hand and touched Yaakov's Gid Anosha, that sinew that was moved out of place, and because of that, Yaakov was limping afterwards. So Al Kain Lo Yochel B'nai Yisrael is Gid Anosha. So at that point, Judaism had not come about yet with the Torah, and Adayim Behemim Tameim Muteres Lahem. So at that point, you could eat a Behemim Tameim. So since at that point, when the Issa was made, there was no distinction between a Behemim Tahir and a Behemim Tameim, the Issa had to go for everything. So the Chachamim responded to him and said the following: Amrullah, no, that wasn't really written there at that time. B'sinai nema, ela shenichtav b'mkeila. Okay, now remember, this is the way the Rambam seems to pass him like the Chachamim, that b'sinai nema, ela shenichtav b'mkeila. What is the meaning of those words? So Rashi says, b'sinai nema, pasuk zeh shazhiru olav b'sinai nema, v'ad sinai loin huzerul. It was never written before. El shenichtav b'mkeila. What happened like this? Moshe Rabbeinu came along at Har Sinai and said, do not eat Gidanash. Then he made it, he said, where in the Torah am I going to put this? Maybe we should tell him, obviously, but where is the Torah does this belong? By the story, because of the Seder HaMoshe HaTorah, because of HaMikrazeh, I mean, it's an embassy now, because that's when it was written. The Seder Moshe HaTorah, Moshe organized the Torah. He wrote it where the story happened. Okay, in other words, this was never said before. Remember this. And let's go a little further. The Gemara in Kuf Aleph on Beis discusses the same thing and says it even stronger. Amrullah Rabbi Yehuda. The Chachamim responded to Rabbi Yehuda. Does it say Al Kain Lo Yochel B'nai Yaakov? At that point, they weren't called B'nai Yisrael yet. B'nai Yisrael on Sinai. Why? So you should know why it's us. The Torah wanted you to know here why it's us. Most of the time, there doesn't care. You should know why it's us. Here, we want to know why it's us. Now, this is a problem. And we're going to let you in on the problem. And the Rambam in Hilchas Malachim does not seem to say that. And that's where our problem goes. This seems to be contradictory to what he says in Hilchas Malachim. And I'm going to read what he says in Hilchos Malachim so that we know what the problem is, and then we'll come back to what he says in Hilchos Malachim and analyze what he says there. Now, the Rambam says, Perik Tes Halacha Aleph, Al Shisha Dvarim Nestav Adam Harishon. Adam Harishon was given 6 things that he was commanded. Right? Al Avodah Zarah, Hashem, all this. And then he says this. That was the 6 things that the other Harishon was given. These are all things. From the Torah, you see these with what we come out. Watch. Noyach was added. To Sheva mitzvahs. We have 7 mitzvahs. The whole world, that was where he was till Avram came along. Now watch this. Avram was added Milah. Who is Malul Shachas? And he added Shachas. Yitzchak Kippur Meiser. They said Tfilah Cheres, and they say, yeah. I'm not going to get into that. That was a discussion somewhere else. Yankiv Hoisiv Gid Anoshe. Yankiv added Gid Anoshe. Mispal Larvis. Mitzrayim Nistavu Amram Mrs. Isaris. And Amram got other mitzvahs and that. Ad Sheba Moshe Rabbeinu v'nishla Torah al Yadai. Now, reading this, it seems that Yaakov did get the tzivui of Gid Anoshe. Yaakov Hoisiv Gid Anoshe. And yet, the Rambam Paskins, like the Chachamim, who hold B'sinai Nemra, that's not my question, the question that's asked. But it's a Pella. Okay, so to understand this, let's take a little road trip. There's a Gemara Masechta Shabbos. We learned recently of something called Tumas Leida. Right? A woman gives birth, she becomes Tamei Leida. Now, we learn out that a Caesarean does not Tamei Leida. We did not tell her. So therefore, Rav Asi comes along and makes the following statement. Whoever's mother does not become Tamei with Leida, Nimul Ishmael. We'll have a bris for the 8th day. And why? Because he learns that Isha ki Sazria, Parsha Sazria, the Pasuk juxtaposes it. The 2 halachas. Isha Sazria Zachar juxtaposes the 2 halachas. Let's go back to the original there is. That were before where the Milah was given to Avram Avinu. It sounds exactly like the Gemara of Rabbi Yehuda, right? Amalei, Rav Asi responded. What does that mean exactly? Basically, it seems to me that it's a new halacha. We can't look at what was back there. Then the Gemara says, let's stick the Eitz David. Their only argument is whether Mechal is a Shabbos, but not whether there's Nimel Shmeinos. It wasn't no Haba Tali. Okay. Rashi says Haba Talia Chilul Shabbos is Tali Nimel Shmeina. If it's Nimel Shmeina, then there's Chilul Shabbos. Not because it's the same pasuk. Now the Rambam in Hilchos Milah Paskins and Eitz David is Nimel Shmeina. Perik Aleph Halacha Zayin. And then Perik Aleph Halacha Yud Aleph, he writes the not Mechal Shabbos. So he doesn't fit with the Gemara. So the general answer to this is not a question. I'm not a suffix. So for Shabbos, he's machmer. He's machmer. In other words, he wants you to do everything. Well, that doesn't. It's not like Nimel Shmeina is a problem. You got to wait a little bit, but you can do it a Shmeina. Oh, well, there's a beautiful Reb Chaim in Hilchos Milah. Long piece. I'm not going through the whole piece, but basically, what he says is that there are two mitzvahs milas. 2 times the Torah talks about milah. In Parshas Vayera. Not Vayera, I'm sorry. Lech Lecha, the end of Lech Lecha, where he tells Abraham to do milah. And in Parshas Sazria. So he says like this. The din of milah Shmeina is in Parshas Lech Lecha. The din of Chilul Shabbos is in Parshas Vayera. Is in Parshas Sazria. So yes, mitzad Parshas Sazria, it wouldn't be Nimel Shmeina, and there's no Chilul Shabbos. A mitzad Parshas Vayera, mitzad Lech Lecha by Avraham. Let's forget about the Parsha. The milah that's written by Avraham is yet Nimel Shmeina. So a Yetzer Deifin has the mitzvah of milah that's said by Avraham. And that's why the Rambam says Nimel Shmeina. But when it comes to Chilul Shabbos, the head of Chilul Shabbos is written Sazria, and then that doesn't fit for a Yetzer Deifin. You say the beautiful Kiddush. There's only one major problem with that. And I'm going to get into it in a second. The Rambam in Pirush HaMishnayos is one of the most famous Rambams. But I want to read it because it's extremely vital to understand what he's saying. The Rambam says, I'm not going to read every word, but just the main points. He says, guys, you got to know this rule that I'm going to tell you. Based on the Mishnah Chulun. This is what the Gemara said on our Mishnah. Misinai Ne'amar. What does it mean? See, I'm just translating our Mishnah. Who shat the Torah chadas? Shekol ma she'onu nizhar mimenu ha'oisen oisa. Anything we do today, we don't do it because any other reason, element, they tzivui Hashem al yidei Moshe. For what Hashem told Moshe. Not because he told Avram, or he told Yitzchak, or he told Yankiv, or he told Amram. Now he gives a list. There's a little list. Now it's very important to hear this list in the way he writes. Dugma lekach. Ein onu oichlin ever min achai loy mipnei shashem osa b'nei noyach ever min achai. The reason we don't eat ever achai, not because Abraham told Avram not to eat ever, told Yankiv not to eat ever achai. I'm sorry, not what he told Noach not to eat ever achai. Mipnei shemosh osa aleinu ever min achai. And here he writes a word that hard to translate. It should remain also. Right? No, it should remain us. That needs to be it. So we don't do milah because Abraham did it. And they Hashem tzivonu ali they Moshe lihimail k'Moshe mal Avram. Again, where does Avram come in? Hashem tzivonu. I say Moshe lihimail, but that's what he says. And here goes a clincher. We're not drawn because of this. We're not drawn to it. All strange wording, but the Nekudas Hadavar is clear that the reason we do mitzvahs is because of what it says here, and we just got from Reb Chaim a beer that we do we did that a Yetzer Deifin doesn't milah because it says by Avram. Now, there's Gemaras that challenge this Rambam, Pirush HaMishnayos. For instance, the Gemara in Sanhedrin says, The guy answers, and so forth. So Rashi says, why does it have to say by both? Why does that say Id Machai? Otu Yisrael Mishum the Kibla Torah Yotz and the Chalal Mitzvahs Rishenis. Rambam said, yeah, and Yotz and Chalal. Okay, now this period of Mishnah does not seem to fit with the Rambam we started off with in Hilchos Malach. It doesn't even fit with the Gemara that he's explaining, as the Gemara explains it. But it doesn't fit with the Rambam and Hilchos Malachim, that's for sure. Because the Rambam and Hilchos Malachim seems to say that Torah developed until Moshe came for Nishlam Torah al Yoda. Now, what is the word Nishlam? Why is it Nishlam Torah? It should just say Moshe. And he's going through who added. Moshe added another mitzvah. What does it mean? What does it mean? As we said, why we're doing it because he just started off saying we're doing it because Moshe said. What's Moshe said? Why does he have to put that in? And the same thing with David Menachai. Shiur, as we said. What's the Shiur? It should remain. What's the Eonim Shochem? I'm drawn to it. And then the biggest problem is, how does this fit with the Gemara, as we said earlier? And how does the Rambam paskin, like the Rabbanan, when the Rambam himself is saying that the Yankiv Haisim Gid Anosh, and the Gemara said no. And Rashi says, the Gemara said, lay them in the time there, Salam. And that's the Lechem Mishnah asks, how did the Rambam write Yankiv Haisim Gid Anosh? It says clearly in the Gemara not like that. Okay, so perhaps. And I don't think it's perhaps. I think that's not that. It's more than perhaps. The Rambam and Hilchos Malachim and Pirush Mishnayos are all saying the same thing, and there is no difference between them. Yes, the Torah developed. Yes, there was a Issa given to Yankiv. But it didn't have a din Torah. It was a tradition. And many people think the Torah is Chas v'Shalom. It's a tradition. It was a tradition. Yeah, could be the Jews would have kept it. That's tradition. But there was no din, no chiyuv, no din Torah. When does it get a din Torah? When Moshe writes it in the Torah. Moshe writes it, it becomes Torah. That's what it means. When Nishlam Torah al Yodei, not he added, he made it in the Torah. He made a shleimus in the whole thing. Now the whole thing becomes shalom. Everything that was written becomes safe Torah's custom and safe Torah's Moshe, as it says in Tanakh many times. Until then, anything that he told David told anybody before, when he told Avram, when he told Noach, when he told it, has no din of Torah. And comes out good when he writes, Tzivonu al Yidei Moshe, and Moshe says, let's establish Shiur and give a doctor Einonim Shochet. It means Avad, it's written there, but it doesn't have a din Torah without Moshe. It doesn't have any chiyuv to us. Now it becomes a chiyuv what was written to Abraham because Moshe wrote it. And that's the thing Gemara asks, why did Moshe write it in both places? What was Moshe's intention? To write in two places. The sugi in Chulin by Gid Anosh is not whether it was said to Yankiv. Question was, why did Moshe only write it by Yankiv? Why did he write by Yankiv and not write it in the right place after Matan Torah? Because that's when it was really said. That's the gay it does. And the answer is to tell you to lay the meza tam nema. That's allowed. Okay, so right now, first we've solved the problem with the Rambam, how he learns the Gemara. and how it fits with everything he says. That Gidanosh is noig b'tahirim only because that chiyuv that we care about is not anything that gave what was written before. Because Moshe wrote it, and since it's because of Moshe wrote it, we have to look at Moshe's time when it was already when there was a isser of a behemoth meya. You can't tell me then it was mutter. It's not the gay what was then. But now we can understand that Rabbi Chaim makes a lot of sense in the Rambam, and it fits the Rambam shitta. That yes, Moshe wrote by Milas Avram, and now that Moshe wrote Milas Avram, and wrote that Be'efen Tzivui, so now the Tzivui is K'Moshe Mal Avram. So there are two din Milah. There's a Milah that was written there, and a Milah was written here, and that's it. So now it works perfectly. Beautiful. And now everything comes out. That works out beautifully in the Pshat and the Rambam. And everybody have a great day. Sei gesund, nicht stark.